Hey everyone, and welcome to the Crime Vault, your go-to channel for true crime stories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more gripping tales. Today, we're diving into the heartbreaking case of Faye Swetlik. It's a story that shook a small community in South Carolina and captivated a nation. It's February 10th, 2020. In Casey, South Carolina, 6-year-old Faye Swetlik is playing in her front yard.
I love my family, my friends, and my pink polka dot boots.
Everything about this day felt ordinary until it wasn't. As the afternoon wore on, Faye's mother realized something was terribly wrong. Her little girl, who was always within sight, had vanished. Panic set in. The family frantically searched the neighborhood, their calls for Faye echoing through the quiet streets. As minutes turned into what felt like an eternity, one thing became terrifyingly clear. Faye was gone. The search for Faye Swetlik had begun. The community was about to be tested in ways they never imagined. The disappearance of Faye Swetlik sent shockwaves through Casey, South Carolina, and beyond. The community, united in their determination to find Faye, sprang into action. Volunteers gathered each morning, their numbers swelling with each passing day. They came from all walks of life: teachers, shopkeepers, retirees, all driven by the same desperate hope of bringing Faye home. Search parties, armed with maps, flashlights, and determination, fanned out across the area.
Days turned into nights, and still they searched. They combed through parks, playgrounds, and wooded areas. Despite the mounting fatigue and the gnawing fear, they pressed on, fueled by the unwavering belief that Faye was out there, somewhere, waiting to be found.
The search for Faye Swetlik was not just about searching for a missing child. It was about reclaiming a sense of security. Law enforcement agencies from neighboring counties joined the effort. The FBI dispatched their specialized teams to assist in the investigation. Leads were meticulously followed, however insignificant they seemed. Surveillance footage from nearby businesses and homes was scrutinized.
The investigation extended beyond the physical search. Law enforcement officers conducted interviews, piecing together a timeline of Faye's last known movements.
As day 3 dawned, a palpable sense of dread settled over the community. The tireless efforts of the search parties and the unwavering dedication of law enforcement had yet to yield any concrete leads.
The media captured the raw emotions of a community grappling with the unthinkable. Despite the lack of progress, law enforcement officials remained resolute. They continued to pursue every lead, interview every potential witness, and analyze every piece of evidence. The search for Faye Swetlik was a race against time. But as the third day of the search drew to a close, a chilling realization began to set in. Time was running out.
The morning of February 13th, 2020, dawned with a heavy feeling in the air. The relentless search for Faye Swetlik had stretched into its third day. But on this day, fate had a cruel twist in store. A discovery was made, a discovery that would shatter the fragile hope that had sustained them. In a wooded area, not far from Faye's home, a police officer made a heart-stopping find: the small, lifeless body of a child. The news spread like wildfire, a collective gasp of horror rippling through the community. The worst fears of the community, of Faye's family, had been realized. As investigators processed the crime scene, their attention turned to a nearby resident, Cody Scott Taylor. Taylor, described by neighbors as quiet and unremarkable, had become a person of interest early in the investigation. His proximity to the crime scene, coupled with his absence from the volunteer search parties, raised red flags.
Interviews with neighbors revealed unsettling details about Taylor's behavior. Some recalled seeing him acting strangely, his demeanor agitated and withdrawn. Others reported seeing him lurking near the playground where Faye was known to play. The investigation took a dramatic turn when a search warrant was executed at Taylor's residence.
The discovery of Faye's belongings in Taylor's home sent shockwaves through the community. As the investigation progressed, the horrific details of Faye's final hours began to emerge. Investigators believed that Taylor abducted Faye as she played in her front yard. The evidence suggested that Faye had been held captive in Taylor's home. The exact nature of Faye's final moments remains a closely guarded secret. The community, once united in hope, was now united in grief and anger. The sense of safety and security that had once defined their lives had been shattered. The case against Cody Scott Taylor was already strong, but investigators knew they needed irrefutable proof. They returned to the area surrounding both Faye's home and Taylor's residence.
Discarded amongst the debris near the edge of Taylor's property lay a tiny pink object, a child's polka dot boot.
The boot was identical to the ones Faye was last seen wearing. The detective carefully bagged the tiny piece of evidence. The discovery of the boot sent a surge of adrenaline through the investigation. It was the breakthrough they had been hoping for. Armed with this crucial piece of evidence, investigators obtained a second search warrant for Taylor's residence. This time, their search was laser-focused. Inside a trash can, hidden amongst discarded household waste, they made another chilling discovery. A garbage bag containing articles of clothing, including a child's shirt, stained with what appeared to be blood. Forensic testing would later confirm their suspicions. The blood belonged to Faye Swetlik. The evidence against Taylor was mounting. The way in which Taylor had disposed of Faye's belongings suggested a level of premeditation. The realization sent a wave of revulsion through the team. As the investigation into Faye Swetlik's murder intensified, a parallel drama was unfolding. Unaware of the gruesome discoveries being made, Cody Scott Taylor was engaged in a desperate act of his own.
The weight of my crimes, the knowledge that the net was closing in, has become unbearable.
On that fateful day, as investigators prepared to confront him, Cody Scott Taylor made a fateful decision. He chose to end his own life, taking with him the answers to questions that would haunt Faye's loved ones forever. The discovery of Taylor's body sent shockwaves through the community. Cody Scott. Taylor's suicide was a final, cruel twist in a case that had shaken them to their core. The news of Cody Scott Taylor's suicide swept through Casey like a cold wind, leaving behind a chilling mix of shock, anger, and a profound sense of emptiness. The community had yearned for justice, for their day in court. Now, that opportunity was gone, ripped away by a final act of cowardice.
Faye's family, already grappling with unimaginable grief, is now burdened with the knowledge that they will never see Taylor face justice. The legal case, once a beacon of hope for closure, was abruptly closed.
Yet amidst the despair, the community of Casey found strength in unity. They came together to mourn the loss of their little angel and to begin the long process of healing. The pink polka dot boots once a symbol of Faye's playful spirit, became a poignant reminder of the innocence lost. In their grief, they found solace in remembering Faye's infectious smile and the joy she brought to those around her. The abrupt end to the investigation, with Taylor's suicide, left many grappling with unsettling questions. The justice system, designed to provide closure and a sense of retribution, had seemingly failed them. There would be no trial, no opportunity for Faye's loved ones to confront her killer, no chance to see him held accountable for his actions. Some argued that Taylor's suicide was a final act of selfishness, a way to escape the full weight of his crimes and the prospect of spending the rest of his life behind bars. Others struggled with the knowledge that the full truth about Faye's final hours might never be known, lost forever in the silence of Taylor's self-inflicted demise. The legal system, for all its complexities and procedures, could not fill the void left by Taylor's suicide. The sense of justice denied, of questions unanswered, lingered like a shadow over the community. Yet, amidst the struggle for understanding, there has been a growing recognition that true justice transcended the confines of a courtroom. True justice, they realized, lay in honoring Faye's memory, in supporting her family, and in working tirelessly to prevent such tragedies from happening again. It lay in transforming their grief into action, in channeling their pain into a force for positive change, in creating a world where children could play freely without fear, where innocence was cherished and protected. The heartbreaking case of Faye Swetlik served as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of children and the evil that can lurk in the shadows of even the most seemingly idyllic communities. It shattered the illusion of safety and forced parents to confront the terrifying reality that danger can lurk closer than they think. In the aftermath of the tragedy, there was a collective call for increased awareness, for vigilance, for open communication between parents, children, and law enforcement. Faye's story became a catalyst for change, prompting communities across the nation to re-evaluate their safety measures and to engage in difficult conversations about child abduction prevention. Schools implemented enhanced security protocols, parents became more vigilant about supervising their children, and law enforcement agencies stepped up their efforts to educate the public about the signs of child abduction and the importance of reporting suspicious activity. Faye's legacy, though born out of tragedy, became one of increased awareness and a renewed commitment to child safety. The case also highlighted the importance of community in times of crisis. The outpouring of support for Faye's family, the tireless efforts of volunteers, and the unwavering dedication of law enforcement demonstrate the power of collective action, of shared grief, and of the unbreakable bonds that unite a community in the face of adversity. The case of Faye Swetlik is a stark reminder that monsters can lurk in the most unexpected places, even in our own neighborhoods. It's easy to believe that these horrors happen elsewhere, to other families, in other communities. But Faye's story shattered that illusion, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable reality that evil can touch us all. The pain of Faye's loss will forever linger in the hearts of those who knew and loved her. The community of Casey, South Carolina, will forever bear the scars of this tragedy. Faye's story has sparked a nationwide conversation about child safety. Law enforcement has redoubled their efforts to protect the most vulnerable among us. even in the darkest times, the human spirit can find the strength to heal and create a brighter future. Today, we remember Faye Swetlik for the joy and light she brought into the world. Her infectious smile, playful spirit, and love for family and friends. The pink polka dot boots symbolize her innocence and the community's hope. Let us honor Faye by embracing the lessons learned. Be more vigilant, aware, and proactive in protecting our children. Create a world where children can play freely without fear. Faye's story reminds us of the importance of community. Even in the darkest times, we are not alone. Together, we can make a difference. Faye Swetlik may be gone, but she will never be forgotten. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please share it with others. Stay tuned for more true crime stories on the Crime Vault.